Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to November and December Executive Committee meeting of the Board of Ed Retirement System. Today is Tuesday, December 2nd, and the time now is 12:48. Please be reminded that the committee meeting is being recorded and will be posted to the BERS YouTube channel. I will begin the meeting by calling the roll. Frank Sarabella. Donald Nesbitt, let me see that guy. He's here, present. Andy Faulkner. Present. Anthony Giordano
Present.
and Karina Pollock.
Present.
I also want to note for the record that Aisha Sapp is also present in person. We have a quorum. Do we have any
Trustees online.
else there? Any other trustees online?
Let me check out.
It should be.
Trustees.
Oh, no, sorry.
Shirley. Shirley, and Deborah. Yeah.
You should acknowledge.
Oh, there's, no, it's their.
Altman is also online. And
Hello, everyone.
Thank you for attending.
Sure.
Shirley Alvin's also there.
Robin is also online. Agenda item number 1 is to consider the minutes of October 28th Executive Committee meeting, which were included in the packets sent prior to the meeting. May I have a motion?
So
to
moved.
approve these meetings?
Second.
Motion made by Tony, second by Greg. Any discussion? Any corrections? Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion carries. The minutes are moved. We have a couple of contract items for today's meeting. The first is for Siegel for 4-month period to bridge the gap between the existing contract and the new award once it's approved. Siegel confirmed that they will keep the current monthly rate, which will result in a total value of $81,666.68 for 4 months, subject to the executive committee's approval. May I have a motion to consider this?
So moved.
Motion made by Karina Pollen. Do we have a second? Second, Tony Giordano.
On information.
So Lou?
Oh, sure. Actually, that was all inclusive. That's exactly what I was gonna say. So are there any questions? I mean, we're simply extending the Siegel contract to bridge them over until the contract that was approved at the full board, which is the multi-year contract, would kind of pass through legal execution. So it is at the current rate that we've had, monthly rate, $20,400 for 4 months, puts us under our 100,000 cap for the executive committee and would bring it to 80,000 dollars. That's essentially what we wanted.
How long before the contract is done?
The legal's here to
The
clarify.
contract is drafted. We already negotiated with Siegel. It's just with law. So this is really just like a stopgap, especially the month of December with the holidays and everything. I'm not sure how long it will take for law to approve, but there is nothing, unusual about the contract.
Okay, thank you.
Just on information all in, what is our engagement with Siegel? How long?
Well,
Well, we have the last 5 years.
No, I don't mean all in, I mean like going forward.
Well, it's a 3-year with a 2-year extension plus potentially up to these 4 months. So 5 years, 4 months max,
Retroactive.
but locked in 3 years.
Thank you.
I guess.
Any other questions? Any other questions? Seeing no other questions, recommendation before the committee is to approve Siegel Consulting Services for the period of January 4th 2026 to April 3rd, 2026. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion carries. The second item on the agenda is for Alex Gonzalez. Legal consulting services, request to engage services of Alex. To bridge a temporary gap of resources to maintain oversight of the legal department and provide legal advice to the executive office. May I have a motion to consider? Motion made by Frank. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second made by Tony. Sharon A. Lane are here to tell us more about this.
Yeah, so I am going out on maternity leave either in January, February. The rest of the team is relatively new. And so in order to kind of help bridge that gap in my absence, we wanted to bring Alex back. Many of you know him. He was the previous general counsel. He was at BERS for 15 years. Just on a very limited basis. Resource to Sandy and Sam. We don't want to open the floodgates to, you know, all staff to conserve funds. And just for like a few hours every week.
Any questions?
I have questions. What's the rate? And are we paying a premium and how long is this for?
It's for up to 6 months. It will be less than that. The rate is $300 an hour, which is very low compared to what we get for outside counsel, which is around $1,000 an hour.
That's you.
Elaine, go ahead and speak.
It's also why it would be, you know, a very limited scope.
Good afternoon, everyone. If I can add to that, we also did some market research of comparables for legal consulting services across 5 other contracts that are currently active with other city agencies, including the law department, where the average rates can range anywhere from $300 an hour to $1,000 per hour. So we believe that the hourly rate is consistent with the current market.
Any other questions? Tony, Greg?
If we vote no, you have to stay.
I guess my only thing is, as we're planning to vote for the budget, that we're making sure that we're tracking and monitoring the time in a timely way, because we certainly are, while it is a good rate, we're certainly paying more of a premium than a salaried attorney. And of course, you need to take your maternity leave. So just so we know when it's beginning and when it's ending. And if it gets to be anything, you know, outside of what is the current ask though? How much is the
Total max is 90.
June for 90.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so the recommendation before the committee is a total contract amount not to exceed 90,000 based on an hourly rate of $300 an hour for the period of January 5th, 2026 to June 30th.
So he can't bill full-time essentially for 6 months to get to 90. It's gonna. Right. The expectations.
Yeah, it would be very limited, not like, oh, he's just here definitely for 10 hours every week. It's as needed.
Any other questions?
Where is he geographically? Is he here?
Alex, he lives in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, seeing no other questions, all those in favor of contracting with Alex Zassis, legal consulting services, please
I
indicate if
have
you.
one more quick question. Why is this being done as a contract versus like the other consultants that you usually have that are not contracted?
To save money, it's a 27% markup to go through the
Got it.
agency.
Yep, I know that. Yeah, got it. Thank you. I'm sorry. Okay.
Any others? No? All those in favor, please indicate if you're in favor.
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Next, we have some comments from and updates, performance updates by Innovation and Risk Department Lead Salil Mehta. May we have a motion to consider?
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Kareem, second by Tony Giordano. Salil?
Sure. So I'll keep this brief because I know we have a lot on the back end, but we're wrapping up a good year in terms of performance. Our overweights and underweights are pretty much steady throughout the year. So even though equities has gone up and our annual plans, which we have a new consultant this year, of course, Akita, but they have not yet put a new plan. But the plan we've been on has had a lower pipeline in 2025 versus the previous years, and yet our overweights are where they are, a few percent, for example, higher on private markets, which raises the importance of being able to concentrate our exposures on new investments on diverse managers. And that's one of the reasons we have Valerie here, Kathy's online, and so some trustees have some questions about those programs. It's also something that's interesting about the liability risk model that we've talked about for a few years now. It's starting to get a little more, I would say, traction outside of BERS and recognized in some review publications coming up. But it speaks to sort of the joint maximization of being able to be disciplined as fiduciaries, but also in a way that's inclusive in terms of who we're supporting within the community with our investments and resilient as a pension fund. So those are my comments. I know, Tony, did you want to say anything about anything or anyone about?
Yeah, I wanted to bring this up to just because as a financial services professional, as someone who's been a student of these funds since the middle 90s, and someone who sits for the chair of PEP on TRS, there's been a lot going on in the last quarter that I wanted to address, and I really wanted to address it to not John Dorsa personally, but John Dorsa in his role as the representative of the policy representative of the controller and as the liaison for BAM. So I also, and I didn't know you would be here today, but I want to also exclude the deputy controller and director for diversity initiatives, as well as the head of real estate from these comments, because I believe they have worked hard on these goals in at times an obstinate atmosphere. I said that already. Now, I must voice what I have seen in what can only be called an overactive lame duck order. In a very short window, BAM has pushed a systematic search, locked in a multi-year custodial contract with State Street, approved a securities lending arrangement with JP Morgan, a firm that we actually are actively trying to collect damages from securities lending lawsuit, and rolled out star report driven raises for BAM, all while a new controller-elect and new policy direction are only weeks away. Now, the latest is Control Lenders calling for divestment from BlackRock, a firm they hired as a net zero consultant early on, even while they managed billions and were thoroughly entangled in consultation with BAM in various capacities. I'm not necessarily opposed to this because it would potentially give opportunity for more diverse firms to manage passive assets, but the timing is what is interesting. Even if there is consultation with the controller-elect's team, this is all out of bounds. These are long-dated strategic commitments the next administration will inherit, but did not choose. Best practice in any fiduciary system, public or private, is simple. When leadership is turning over, you do not rush to bind the successor to major structural contracts. And I know I will eliminate, I won't say any company's names that would potentially should be an executive session. And while BAM has shown maximum urgency on these items, we still have trustees not getting what they actually need. We have no transition managers under contract. That means every transition is being carried out in the worst possible practice. Money managers are effectively transitioning their own money. Boards are paying more for the slippage, commissions, and operational drag, and best execution is potentially being obscured because there is no independent conflict-free party running the process. Let's be blunt. This only benefits the managers. It does not benefit the boards. It certainly does not benefit the beneficiaries and follows BAM's historical position, putting the managers ahead of the beneficiaries. The fact that we are conducting transitions this way while simultaneously signing major multi-year contracts is frankly indefensible. And now on top of that, I am hearing the Evergreen program, a structural initiative designed to expand access and opportunity in private markets, is being stalled on the flimsiest possible pretext. No deputy CIO had a private equity. This is not a staffing issue. It is part of a larger pattern. This administration has maintained a performative relationship with diversity. We saw BAM inflate BIPOC ownership by shrinking denominator of assets under management by 130 billion, creating the illusion of progress. We saw an $80 billion asset management labeled emerging because they only had 2 billion in private credit, a mathematical trick, not a diversity strategy. We saw BAM try to block our hiring of XXX manager, now taking credit for the very firm they opposed. We still see the contract for XXX manager being withheld after being approved more than 3 years ago by this board's vote. Evergreen threatens the status quo, so Evergreen will be stymied. Over time, it became obvious selective transparency, selective urgency, and a consistent resistance to anything that shifts influence toward accountability and genuine diversity. Evergreen does exactly that. Strengthening transition management would do exactly that. And that's why both are being delayed. Our duty is fiduciary, not political. Our diversity goals must be real, not performative. Our governance must reflect substance, not optics. And after the time I've spent on this board and the decades I spent in finance before arriving here, I recognize these patterns clearly. The beneficiaries deserve better than a lame duck rush and a shell game around transparency and diversity. It's time we correct course. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. G.
Thank you.
And again, I thought John would be here and they should be afforded opportunity to respond.
Isn't anybody on BAM on the call?
I'm here.
Oh,
You were excluded from the comments, Valerie.
This is not executive session, is it?
No,
No,
that's why I excluded the names of the firms.
we're gonna take this up in executive session? Because I think it's certainly worth,
I mean, there's aspects of it that we could discuss and co-sign and say that some of the motivation is definitely, with some of these things, very clearly and obviously political.
Is anyone making a motion to go into executive?
I'd make a
session?
motion to go into
well,
executive.
it's coming up, right? My comments ended, technically.
Oh, yeah, we have a agenda item that needs to go into executive session anyway. So
Okay.
Unless other people have other comments.
any other comments on Salil's, his comments before the board? Seeing no other comments, thank you, Salil. For that, thank you, Tony. We'll now entertain a motion to go into executive session made by Karina Pound. Do we have a second?
So